Hello, paper tollers. This is Dottie from the Paper Toll Institute, and today I'm going to talk to you about cutting guides. Here in front of you are two different versions of cutting guides. Most of you have probably seen the one on the left. The one on the right is a cutting guide with an assembly instructions that are written out. We're going to talk about the one on the left first. This is probably the more prevalent style of cutting guide. It's been around for a very long time, and a lot of your prints will come with this style cutting guide. There are 4 prints that there are pieces cut out of, which means it takes 5 prints to do this picture. The first print, which is your mounting print, will be mounted to a backboard of either mat board or foam core, by whichever method you prefer. There are a number of methods. There's dry mounting, if you have a dry mount machine, or Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or any framing store can dry mount your print for you. If you're going to dry mount it, please check multiple places. The prices will vary substantially from one shop to another. Another method is peel and stick sheeting that goes between the print and the mat board or the foam core. There is also a self-adhesive foam core that's available for purchase. The Paper Toll Institute companion store, the Tollway, has those sheets available for you, cut to size. There are a number of places those can be purchased. You can also use a spray glue adhesive if you like that. To me, that tends to be a little messy because you have to have something underneath, because you have to roll with a brayer to make sure you get all of that out of your print. Okay, so the first one is going to be mounted. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 additional prints that you're going to cut pieces out of. All of these pieces are numbered sequentially, and they are numbered in the order in which they are attached to your mounted print. So this goes from 1 to 33. So to complete this print with this cutting guide, you would take each one of 4 additional prints, and I would number them 1, 2, 3, 4, so that you keep your prints in the order that they are delineated on your cutting guide. I would take these and separate them into batches of 10. The last one would be 13, and put them in groups of 10 in Ziploc bags or in small plastic containers or Tupperware or something, so that you have them sorted out in multiples of 10 to help you deal with putting it back together. So what you're going to do is you'll take the first print, you will cut out the pieces that are outlined, and on the back of these pieces you will write the number that's on the cutting guide. So this one is 1, 8, 16, 7, 6. This one is 26. This one is 19, 23, and 25. And you will continue to do that for all 4 prints until you have all 33 pieces cut out and numbered. Then you will go back, and if you break them into sections of 10, then I would take the first 10, color all of your edges with a marker that matches whatever the edge is that you're coloring. So this is probably green would be my guess. So you're going to color these edges with a green, and you're going to color this with a green. The bow may be red. If it is, then you would color that edge with a red, and so forth until you get them all colored. And then once you get them colored, you're going to apply a white glue. We use an Easy Flow glue at the Paper Toll Institute, because of the way it dries and how easy it is to shape. There are other white PVC glues that you can use. It's pretty much a personal preference. You will apply that to each individual piece. We usually put down a piece of wax paper and then turn the color face down and apply the glue to the back. And then when the glue is dry to the touch, so it no longer sticks to you or your styling tools, then you can shape these pieces. And then once they are cut and glued and shaped, then I would split them up in groups of 10 and put them in containers until you're ready to put the whole picture together. So this is the standard cutting guide that comes with lots of prints. The thing you have to remember about this is while there isn't a written installation guide, the pieces go back onto the mounted print in the number that they are, in the order in which they are numbered sequentially. So piece 1 would go on first. Piece 2 is the bow that's going on top of your Christmas wreath. I haven't found 3. There's 5. There's 4. There's got to be a 3 here somewhere. Oh, 3 is the center of the bow, which you're going to shape from the back so that it gets rounded, and then you'll turn it back over and put it on here so it's puffed up like the center of a bow would be. So it'd be 1, 2, 3. Those are the first 3 pieces, and then with 4 you start with the candlestick, and you're putting the whole candlestick down, and on 5 you put the base of the candlestick back down. Okay, so remember that the order of these goes back on in the same order that they are numbered in the cutting guide. Okay, so while this doesn't have a written instruction, it is put down exactly the way it looks. The second type of cutting guide is this one, and this one has sections which match the other cutting guide. Here's your mounted print, then here's print 2, print 3, print 4, print 5, and print 6. And that's really all there is to that, is 6 prints. Okay, and 6 includes your mounted print, or your base print. Okay, so this is pretty much exactly like this. The only difference comes when you look at the written part of the guide, okay? The written part of this guide lists what you need to complete it. It lists information about cutting, coloring, shaping, tracing or etching. It covers gluing. It covers tabbing, tucking, and overcutting, which if you're familiar with paper towel at all, you don't really need this. The Institute, we're probably going to take and put all of the delineated sections of this onto a separate document that we will include with prints that have this type of cutting guide so that you get a little bit of instruction. And then the instructions for this, so like when you look at piece 1 that's cut from print 2, it says the top chart should be glued against the mounted print while the bottom is pulled away. This is talking about the base of the print, which is this piece. Because we all know that the ground comes forward or comes up and then pieces set onto the ground, what they're doing is what we call raising the edge. And the Institute will have put out a separate little video on raising the edge so that way all of your figures or your buildings or your trees or bushes don't slide down into the bottom of your shadow box. They actually have a base to set on, and that's what this is talking about. So this will have a little additional information, like piece 2, it says shape and glue in place underneath the overcuts, pull the elbow forward a little. So piece 2 is, let me find it and I'll show you. Okay, piece 2 is the back arm of Jesus in this print, and so it's showing that it goes here and then it goes underneath the cross, and so that's print 2. The cross is print 4. Okay, so this will go back onto your base print in the same order that it's delineated in there. The only difference is that this stuff has a little bit more instructional information with regard to how pieces are shaped and if they're over or under, or what relationship they have to the pieces around them. But most of the cutting guides that you will get do not have these. So, no matter which cutting guide you get, they are both cutting guides, because we have had people order prints and have sent out this and have them told us that it's not a cutting guide because it doesn't tell them how to put it together. But I'm sure that you will find, as in my experience, that the majority of the cutting guides are basically this. And they will either be 4 on a page or 2 on a page or 1 on a page, but they will basically be this. So if you are not experienced with cutting guides, I will suggest to you that if there is not an instructor in your area where you can get some instruction with regard to how to shape pieces, how to wire them if wiring is necessary. The Institute offers online classes 3 to 4 times a year. Those are done by logging into GoToMeetings, and that would be a way for you to receive videos that show the actual shaping techniques for that particular print, and there will be a written cutting guide that goes along with those. So, now that we have dispelled the myth that this is not a cutting guide, I'm going to wish you happy snipping. Until next time.